Hey y'all, thank you for joining me for this episode of Soul Food Sundays. I've been getting some downloads, and as you know, I usually do Soul Food Sundays like once a month, but this month you'll have multiple because the channelings and the downloads they've been coming through, and I have to express what it is that I'm receiving. So here we go. I got a little bit of time because the kids are at lunch. When I say they get the shortest fucking lunch break, I think it's like 20-25 minutes. So I definitely won't be before you long. Thank God I got my little notes. But one of the things that I channeled was by way of a song, and it was this part on a Jeezy song where he's saying, you gotta believe. At the beginning of the song, I used to hit the kitchen lights, cockroaches everywhere, hit the kitchen lights, now it's marble floors everywhere, some in a brand new Hummer, it's gonna be a cold summer. I wish I could pull up the lyrics, but my iPad is dead and I'm using my phone, so there's that. But I'm a huge Jeezy fan, so I really should know those lyrics. But God damn it, I be remembering so much stuff and storing so much information. Like, I'm not shocked that my memory be shot to shit sometimes. It is what it is. So, those lyrics, first of all, you gotta believe. Like, you gotta have hope, you gotta have faith, and you gotta believe that the shift that you're being called to make from lack consciousness to abundance consciousness is for your highest good, and identify those contracts, covenants, commitments that you made when you were in lack, in poverty, in crisis. Identify those things for what they were, and then renegotiate, make a new contract, tear the motherfucking contract up, whatever. But when you know better, you do better. And so what I mean by that is a lot of us are realizing like our perspective is different when we're coming from a place of lack. You know what I'm saying? When you in lack, you at least your intention, you call yourself making the best out of a fucked up situation. You know what I'm saying? But when you think in abundance that you lack nothing, you actually make the decision that is best for you, which is different. You make the decision that if you thought higher of yourself, if you knew things were going to get better, if you knew you could do better and have better, then you would make a different decision. That's being in abundance consciousness. So for many of us, that's that shift. And the song was reminding me of that, not only because we're needing to believe that we can have better and we can do better, that the upgrades and the levels up, the leveling up is for us, but also the part about hitting the kitchen lights. He said, I used to hit the kitchen lights and it was cockroaches everywhere. And that's living in poverty, right? That's lack. Cockroaches tend to fester where there's filth somewhere. It might not even be your house or your apartment, but it might be your neighbors. You know what I'm saying? So that's lack, right? But when you shift into abundance, that's the marble floors. Marble ain't cheap, y'all. Price it. So this is many of us raising our standard and raising the price. And I, for one, resonate with this because I have recently decided to raise my prices. It's something that I have been contemplating, but I recently made the definitive decision, regardless of the imposter syndrome. Because there was a part of me as I'm developing the new price list that felt like, damn, people ain't gonna want to pay this, or people can't afford this, or what if people don't pay this? What if people don't align with it? What if people frown up? Fuck that. Your standards, your boundaries, your prices, those are your not not boundaries, even though they are, but it's a different word that I'm thinking of. Like, that sets the tone. You know what I'm saying? It sets that barrier around you that says, hey, if you can't meet me here, we can't go further. You know what I'm saying? If this is too much for you, I'm not for you. So I love that for us, because for some of us, especially as empaths, especially as spiritualists, especially if you grew up in poverty, or you grew up where people are used to living in lack, or operating in lack, the thing that's keeping us who have had that experience from thriving is that we damn near will do what's best for everybody but ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, we the best at what we do, or we're great at what we do, or we right up there amongst the best at what we do. We got skin in the game, you know what I'm saying? And then we don't charge accordingly. And that's not just in accordance with your services. That's with your energy. That's with your maturity. You can't be a certain, not only age, because age ain't nothing but a number, but a certain level of maturity, and not require that people who enjoy your energy, who you invest your time and energy into, meet you there. That they bring a certain level of maturity to the table to experience you in a particular way. You know what I'm saying? So we're needing to be mindful of all those types of things as we move forward on our journey. Because one thing for certain is two things for sure. God is calling us out to prove that we are good stewards of what we have, so that when we are blessed with and aligned with more, with abundance, with better, with what comes with the level up, with the gifts that align with the level up, we don't fumble the ball, that we appreciate it, and that we make sure other people appreciate it, and don't waste our time and resources and our gifts. And also that we don't take people with us who will fuck it up for us, or fuck up the experience to the point where we can't enjoy our increase. And so we're just in that space where we're being prepared, but also the God in us is being called forth to make the change. Stop waiting on something outside of us to change or give us the green light, and instead tap into that God within us and create that which it is we seek, the abundance that we seek, to align with the abundance that we seek. And that is by way of raising our standard of who and what we're dealing with, and our prices, especially for those of us who are entrepreneurs, who are self-employed. If nothing else, aside from shit, you just being worthy of it, look at the economy. We are not to leave our prices the same as they were in 1995, and motherfucking a carton of eggs is $10. You know what I'm saying? And trust me, I be in these streets vending. Motherfuckers is spending their money. People got discretionary funds. They spending money on what they want to spend it on. So don't hesitate to raise the standard, raise your price. For me, I have raised my price from you all are going to see, I'm going to make the announcement soon, but it's going to be about a 10 to 15% increase. And I did at first, but now I don't feel no ways tired, honey. I got plans for that increase, and I'm worthy of it. I got shit to do with it, and I'm excited about it, but also I am fucking good at what I do, yo. And I got client reviews and clientele and history with people and experiences to prove it. So also be mindful of what's triggered within you when you're raising the standard, when you're leveling up, when you're requiring more of the people whom you have in your inner circle or you connect with in some way. This could be sexually, this could be romantically, it could be familially. But as you get clear on your new standard, your new boundaries, what it takes for people to be able to connect with you, fuck all that humble shit. Especially if you've gone through an ego death, or 2 or 10. there's a time and there's situations where you need to be humble, and then there are other times and situations where you need to know your worth. You always need to know your worth, you know what I'm saying, what you bring to the table, that you're good company. And so all of that is important as you are evolving into who you are becoming and securing yourself in that, grounding it. For dominant masculines, this experience of raising the price, raising your standards, could be very predominantly emotional and spiritual in nature. So like expecting more of raising the price or value or standard of emotional safety in your life, spiritual maturity in your life, and those whom you interact with, which means you gotta exude it yourself, you know what I'm saying? And so if that's not where you are, then if you feel like you don't bring the value to raise the standard, add the value, do the work, learn, grow, evolve into that, so that you align with what it is that you're requiring for other people, so that you're not leaking your energy, so that you're not allowing people to drain your energy, and you're not the one doing the same to others, and vice versa. Because feminines, if you resonate with this may very well be dominant, like masculine energy. You're seeing this level up and raising the standard, like physically raising the prices for your services, or raising your standard of your physical environment, where you work, your home, how you live in your comfort, your beauty regimen, things of that nature, as well as the quality of your thoughts, your communication, your conversations. I know me, I found myself in a situation talking to somebody not too long ago, maybe a month ago. It was taking everything in me not to hang up in this person's face. I think I might have told y'all about that. I don't know. But because the quality of the conversation was trash. You know what I'm saying? And so we just need to be mindful of those type of things, because I'm definitely in a chapter of my life where, like, I don't like talking to everybody. I don't like communicating with everybody. I don't want to spend my time and my energy with everybody. I don't want to put my makeup on and my cute clothes on and put forth that effort to beautify, to hang out with and be with everybody. I don't want to share laughter and a drink or fresh squeezed juice with everybody. I'm selective, you know what I'm saying? And so that's something to be mindful of. But with that whole dominant masculine, dominant feminine energy, and what this experience looks like for you is very much you integrating your masculine and feminine energy to become a more whole, balanced being, valuing balance more, and ultimately that whole concept of yin and yang. Then we got, before I hope I have time to pull cards, on my way to work this morning on the radio, they have this thing. I do not be listening to the radio, but this particular time I was, and they were talking about, they have this segment called the toxic tank, and you can call in and put somebody in the toxic tank. So it's like what we had back in the day, the jackass wall, where you could put somebody on the jackass wall. We're in the toxic tank this morning. This lady called and she said she wanted to put this dude she had been dealing with for 5 years in the toxic tank. She said he had been taking her down through there for 5 years, and that she's sick of it, and that he invited her out to dinner, and she could tell he had walked to her house, like he had got somebody to drop him off nearby and walked to her house. And when he got there, she cussed him out. She followed him somewhere and saw where it was a girl in his car, and she was just like, I'm just sick of his shit. And the whole time I'm thinking, you need to belly flop your ass in that tank with him, mama. Because sis, you toxic your damn self. 5 years? You got the nerve to be able to identify that this nigga is toxic for 5 years, but not see where you've aligned with that, where you have attracted that, where you have entertained that, where you have stooped to the level of that behavior. girl, we can no longer play victim in these situations, because that's disempowering. That means you're giving your power away to somebody. We can also no longer play rescuer, like we're trying to fix these people or these situations and change them and mature them. Like, we just need to own where there's misalignment, and that is what keeps you at a higher standard and grounded and growing and making space for better, opposed to making excuses and pointing the finger. It's time out for all that type of fuck shit, y'all. So I'm gonna pull some cards because it look like I got time and close us out. But yeah, you gotta believe that you can do and have better, honey. No more cockroaches. We going for the marble floors. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Something no longer aligns with you. It feels low vibrational. It does not feel in alignment with who you are and what you stand for at this point on your journey. Something in you feels like, I can do better. It gets greater for me out here. This is not it for me. I have not reached the ceiling. These walls can be removed. These limits can be removed, and there's so much more for me to explore. Answer the call, because that's not just something within you that's stirring. That's God leading you in the right direction. So answer the call. For many of you, whatever you've been praying about, that nudge, that pull is you being pulled in the right direction. That is the answer to your prayer. At the top of the deck, you have Pleiades, double mission, channeling, and uplifting humanity. Again, a lot of you may identify with being connected with the Pleiadian star family, but you're receiving channelings and downloads and intuitive nudges and dreams, signs, synchronicities about the direction that you should be headed in. So it ain't just that these people getting on your nerves. You're being made uncomfortable on purpose. It's called divine discontentment. You're discontent, you're dissatisfied because there's something better for you, and you're being called not to settle. And it's a part of your purpose. It's a part of your sacred contract. It's a part of where you're headed next on your journey. At the bottom of the deck, mirror. What are these experiences mirroring to you? If you see a version of somebody or something, and it's always going to be saying something to you about you, like the lady in the think tank. Ain't no way in the shit you going through that, and that hamburger helper, ramen, what they call the shit, ramen noodles, oodles and noodles, beanies and weenies, ass, poverty meal ass shit, and you think you fucking caviar and champagne and goddamn porterhouse steaks and Kobe beef, like, so you want some high quality shit, but you entertaining that low vibe ass shit? No. What are your experiences mirroring to you? It says, who or what is triggering you to raise your price, to raise your standard? Y'all, I hope the message found you well. If it did not find you well, I hope that it leads you well. I think I got to the point, we could have chopped it up a little bit longer, but I don't want these kids coming in here interrupting my video. If you are in need of a personal reading, I do have some availability, even though things have really picked up with my personals. It's a blessing to be booked, baby. And I'm so happy and grateful for those of you who have recommended me to other people. So I provide sound healing, art therapy sessions, tarot readings, and consultations. If you don't want a card reading but you're needing some advice on something, you can get a consultation. I'm doing spiritual workings, baths, candles. You know, I'm that girl. And I will be announcing the updated prices soon, so be on the lookout for that. I'm also working on the 3rd annual summer solstice So that's coming down the pipeline. But yeah, y'all leave your comments down below if you resonate. If you're interested in booking, feel free to shoot me an email to turquoisemajesty@gmail.com. And with that being said, y'all, peace.